Today we're gonna look at strictly worse Magic the Gathering cards over the course of history. So the good card had to come first, and then the worst card had to be printed later. Let's start it off with Mana Leak. Mana Leak for 1 blue, 1 generic, counter target spell. Unless the opponent pays 3 mana. 3 mana. Well, guess what? By the way, this was like a powerhouse in Standard and many forms of Magic for many years. This is actually like a powered down version of just Counterspell, which is the ultimate two mana Counterspell. So they counter target spell unless they pay 3, and that was basically as good as Counterspell for an enormous chunk of Magic the Gathering history. And they wanted a Counterspell back in Standard, but they couldn't bring the Mana Leak. So what they brought the Quench for 1 blue, 1 generic, counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. I can't remember if this saw any play or not. It might have been so powered down that, it wasn't even worth looking at anymore. Mohammed says, no, it's strictly worse. The good card comes first. Strictly better, the worst card. That's right. The worst card comes first. You got it, Mohammed. That's the theme of today. So you get your strictly worst cards in the comment section. All right, next we'll have Lightning Bolt. Been around since beta. 1 red, deal 3 damage to any target. And then as time went on, they decided to make Shock. Well, Lightning Bolt is too broken for some reason. Let's make a worse version of this. Or maybe they didn't want to make another version of Lightning Bolt, and then people have access to like 8 copies of Lightning Bolt. 1 red, Shock deals 2 damage to any target. Strictly worse. It's funny, everyone talks about how, the power creep, they're just strictly better cards these days than the past. Well, do you know what? They've also down-powered a lot of cards, just like the Lightning Bolt. We got Strip Mine. Although, it's funny, it's got strictly worse, but not that much worse. Strip Mine, add a mana to your mana pool, sacrifice Strip Mine, destroy target land. Blow it up. Any land you want. You want to destroy basic lands, swamps, islands, plains, mountains, forests. Strip Mine can do it all. So they thought, well, maybe that's a little too broken. We should be able to play around 0 mana land destruction. So they made the Wasteland. It's the same thing, but you can only destroy the non-basic lands. And make no mistake, this card is banned, and this card warps Legacy. Or you could also say that, it's the glue that holds Legacy together. However, whatever perspective you want to take. And my last example that I personally have, Counterspell. Blue, counter target spell. And under most circumstances, Deprive is going to be worse. Blue, as an additional cost to cast Deprive, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Counter target spell. So, I mean, if you've got some fantasy idea how to, I don't know, recycle creatures on the battlefield, maybe that would work. Most of the time that will not. It's just super tempo negative. You'd rather the counter spell was just clean blue counter target spell, but you know what, you have that available with Deprive. All right, and we've got the super chats rolling in. You know what, Wah? I just love using this sound effect whenever you super chat. Good morning, Wah. Good morning, everyone. And we've got Robert to start the day. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Reviving Dose and Revitalize. Reviving Dose. What do we got here? We got white 2 generic. You gain 3 life, draw a card. This is actually strictly better than that other, or is that's the other card? Revitalize? No, that's not it. We looked at a card the other day where I think you gain 7 life and your opponent draws a card. Okay, what's Revitalize? You gain 3 life, draw a card. Oh, and it's strictly better on mana cost. Absolutely. I will accept that. Could be the same mana cost, a worse ability, or hold on, doesn't this get better? Or is this the newer set? You gain 3 life, draw a card. You gain 3 life, draw. This looks like it gets better. What's this last set from? I don't know the set. I think this is that what's it called? Conspiracy? Is that Conspiracy? Or is that a new? Yeah, it's Conspiracy. So this actually got better. They got better. All right, I think we have to disqualify. But thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. As usual. It's hard to follow the instructions. Yeah, Conspiracy Take the Crown came way before Kaldheim. So this is actually, yeah, so we're not usually we do strictly better. Today we are doing strictly worse. Oh, this is a great example. Tropical Island. We got the best lands in the business here. Just what's with this? You know, I hate these. I want to see the OG card. Let's look at. There we go. That's as OG as it looks. It's gonna get. So we have Tropical Island, counts as both a forest and an island, and is affected by spells that affect. Okay, whatever. The it's just a forest and an island. You can fetch it out. It does everything. No downside. Some say that actually these are overpowered lands. These were poorly designed lands. They aren't the real lands. The real lands are the shock lands, like Breeding Pool. So we have the OG dual lands, and now we've got the modern dual lands, Breeding Pool. As Breeding Pool enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Gotta pay that life, people. Where's the music at? Oh, did I screw that up again? Thank you for reminding me. How do I get this? Hold on, we're gonna... Oh! Alright. Should be music now. We got the music's back. I already made this one. It was the opening of the show. All of the Kamigawa lands, all of them versus basics. What was a Kamigawa land? Give me one. Give me one land from Kamigawa. I don't know any of them. I probably don't know any of them. Hold on, so what, they were better lands? Shock lands are better for Death Shadow. Yeah, in that niche situation where you want to hurt yourself. I wouldn't say these basic lands are strictly sorry, the thing. Oh, you're talking about that Kamigawa land. Are you talking about like Boseiju? So we've got Boseiju. I mean, in some sense, yes, but this is legendary. You can put an unlimited number of forests on the battlefield. Go for it. Any number of forests you want. I'm gonna get one from Dominaria United. But you cannot have so many Boseiju, so I wouldn't say it's strictly worse. And they do completely different things. Alright, we got Wazback. Impact Tremors is greater than Witty Roadmaster. So, okay. Impact Tremors. And remember, the better card had to have come first under Magic's history. Impact Tremors. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Tremors deals 1 damage to each opponent. And then we've got Witty Roast. Witty Roastmaster. Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. They added more. And they made it a creature, which could be an upside, could be a downside. It depends a little bit. If you depend on this enchantment for your combo, then this is better because it's just harder to hit. You can't hit it with removal. It's going to be on the battlefield and it's going to be a pain. This one, there's a lot more removal for this creature. Boulder with the super chat. Thanks so much. Cancel is worse than... That's right! It is. Alright, so we have... They made tons of strictly worse cards to counterspell. So we have counterspell. Came first. Then we got cancel. It's the same thing. They just added 1 more mana to it. You know what? This art confuses me because it looks like an Archmage's Charm, in my opinion. Does anyone else get confused by this art of cancel? I swear, if someone just pointed this at me in a tournament and said Archmage's Charm, I'd just believe them. I wonder how far... I'd be very curious to know how far someone would go into a tournament playing a cancel like it was Archmage's Charm. Michael says the OG duels were considered garbage rares upon release. Well, everything would be garbage if it was compared to, you know, killing your opponent in 2 turns with like Channel and Fireball. Also, I had a buddy who traded the shock lands upon initial release for OG duels straight up. This was before the Legacy Boom and Commander. That's crazy. they would actually get to that point. Okay, we got him to Turok is better. Him to Turok. Black, target player, sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards at random. And then we got Wrench Mind. That's right, black, target player discards 2 cards unless he or she discards an artifact card. That is strictly worse. But even though it's strictly worse, still playable in 8-rack in Modern. They will be happy to play with their Wrench Mind. Force of Will to Force of Negation. You know what? Yes, that is strictly worse. Force of Will. Well, okay, this is a little bit loose here because you got to pay a life, right? You got to pay a life. But you know what? It's pretty close. I will accept it. You can pay a life, exile a blue card from your hand rather than play this spell's mana cost, counter target spell, and then Force of Negation. First off, you can only play it for free on your opponent's turn. So you can't do it on your turn, which is like the beauty of Force of Will. Actually it does some other stuff. It also exiles the card. These are quite a bit different cards. In my mind, this is a strictly worse Force of Will. You know, all blue mages will say so, but they have some different abilities. The other thing, the other big difference between Force Negation and Force of Will is that it's actually more possible to hardcast this card. Hardcasting for 3 mana, not impossible. Hardcast for 5 mana, impossible. Might as well just... Well, I mean, I've done it before. It's just you're not pleased for doing that. The Cabal Stronghold, Cabal Coffers. I don't remember what this... So, hold on. Cabal Coffers is the better one. So we got Cabal Coffers. Pay 2, tap, add a black for each swamp you control. Cabal Stronghold. What was this? Strong Cabal. Oh, I misspelled it. Oh, yes, this is way strictly worse. Tap, add a generic, or you pay 3, tap, add a black for each basic swamp you control. Although, one advantage you get with this, it's a strictly worse ability when you compare the 2 abilities. But the one huge advantage of this is that it actually adds mana for a generic, whereas this one, you're just literally screwed. You don't have 2 extra mana. You don't add anything with your Cabal Coffers. You just add nothing. But this one, you can add at least a generic mana to make up for the fact that you have to pay 1 more to add a black for each basic swamp you control. To be honest, why doesn't this see any play? Like, this card saw play, but this one doesn't. Like, you don't even add that much swamp to your deck anyway. Whatever. Like, who activates this on turn 3? You're not going to get much out of it. Imagine they adjusted this, that you add a black for each swamp all players control, and you play with Urborg. Oh man, that'd be crazy. Hypnotic Spectre into Abyssal Spectre. Hypnotic Spectre. I don't even know what the second one is. You're a Spectre fanatic. Okay, it's Abyssal Spectre? I think it's Abyssal Spectre? No? Oops, I missed it. Oh, it's Abyssal. Okay, anyway, so we talk about a Hypnotic Spectre, black, 1 generic, 2/2 flying. Deals damage to an opponent. That player discards a card at random. This was apparently one of the better cards ever in Magic the Gathering history. Like in the past, it was like a staple of it was Dark Ritual, Hypnotic Spectre, and go eat them up. Eat up your opponent's cards. And then we have this Abyssal Spectre. Oh, is it the same thing, but it costs 1 mana? But for an extra black, we got an extra toughness on top of it. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards card. Oh, it's not even random! At least this one was random, so they get to choose which card they discard. This is terrible. This is a worse card. Alright, so what do we got here? Chalupacabra. This is Demonic Tutor. Demonic Tutor is worse. Oh, sorry, is better than Diabolic Tutor. Well, yeah, diabolic tutor. So we originally could search library. You know, back then tutors were cheap. They underrated the tutors. So black one generic, search your library for a card, put that card into your hand shelf of your library. Diabolic tutor. I don't know. This is it's like black is a tutoring color, so why don't we just give them a tutor that is borderline unplay? Well, I don't know. Does this see plane commander? I don't know. But it's not good in constructed form, like the competitive constructed formats. I guess could be fine unlimited if you're looking for your key bomb, because you only get one bomb, right? And at least this is extra copies of that same key bomb. So search the library for the same card, then shuffle your library, but it costs 4 mana. All right, we have more Strictly Worse cards for the entire show today, but we have to get to our sponsors. FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my paper Magic cards and accessories. Been buying shields and KMC perfect sizes from them for years, and you can too when you support the channel by buying from them using coupon code Nikachu at checkout, but also saves you money. You get off purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Your ability to play any deck, any format, anytime you want. If you're interested in Legacy, if you're interested in Vintage, Modern, Pioneer, Pauper, they've got it all on Magic the Gathering Online. Old cards, and you don't need to own any of them when you're renting them with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_G8M. All right, back to the Strictly Worse cards. And back to Animal Crossing music. Everyone's like, what's your music? It's all Animal Crossings and Earthbound music and a smidge of Wii stuff. All right, we got a super chat here from Balder. Thank you so much, Balder. Holy Day is equal to Fog. Holy Day. 1 white. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn, and then Fog. That, you know what, that... maybe you're onto something, Boulder. Maybe I can have something like, strictly the same. Strictly the same. Cards that are identical. Lorenzo! Okay, we go with Lightning Bolt. It's a staple. Lightning Bolt into Lightning Strike. That's right. Red 1 generic target Lightning Strike deals 3 damage to any target, but for 1 a whole mana. And we've got Open Fire. It just keeps getting worse. Red 3 generic. It deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Just keep making it more expensive. We gotta keep making this more expensive until it doesn't see any play. That's when they can stop making Lightning Bolt for more mana. Oh, we have a ton more super chats. We got Broccoli here. Fireball is greater than Blaze. Fireball, the original Fireball. Oh wow, they improved the art. The art is great here. Spell costs 1 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Divided evenly. Rounded down among any number of targets. I've never seen Fireball actually being spread out evenly. And then we got Blaze. Blaze. Deals X damage to any target. Is this strictly worse, though? You can pour all your mana. How does Fireball work? Deals X damage divided evenly, rounded down among any number. Oh, any number of targets. Oh, so you have the choice, is what it is. The spell. They completely changed this card. Well, let's look at the original Fireball. Or maybe it isn't. Okay, you know what? I think I'm wrong. It's the same. I just haven't interpreted. I never interpreted this card properly. Okay, so yeah, strictly worse. Fireball can hit many targets, and Blaze can only hit 1. Waz back here with another super chat. Jessica's Will and Rousing Refrain is Rousing Refrain. Jessica's Will. Jessica's Will, a red and 2 generic. Sorcery, choose one. If you control a commander as you cast the spell, you may choose both. Add a red for each card in target opponent's hand, or exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. And then we've got Rousing Refrain. Thing, red, 3 generic. Add red for each card in target opponent's hand. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana. This is a completely different card. Wah! I appreciate the super chat, though. But this is not even close. Oh, that's a good one. Callan Terrace with Black Lotus. How do we make Black Lotus fair? Oh, I want the original Black Lotus. There's no Black Lotus like the OG Black Lotus. Oh, you went with Lotus Petal. Oh, you know what? I thought you were thinking about Lotus Bloom, which is like a better comparison. But you know what? Like, there's Lotus Bloom, which is the same thing, but it's on suspend. But then we've got, what's it called? Yeah, we have Lotus Petal. Let's go with your Lotus Petal. Great one. Yeah. Tap, sack, add only 1 mana. And it's still not really fixed. I mean, this is a broken card. If this was in Modern, we'd have a bunch of really broken cards. Chalupa Copper reminding us, Holy Day is equal to fog is equal to darkness. Where's blue fog? Where's the blue fog? Where's red's fog? It's funny. The red fog. I mean, like, there definitely could be a blue fog. It'd be just called mist or something. Thick mist. And then the red fog could be, I don't know, black smoke from the volcano. All right, Pimp Sauce with Mind Twist is better than Shatter. Mind Twist. Oh, yes. Is it still banned? Are you still banned? You're still banned. For no reason in Legacy. There's no point to this card being banned. But you're still banned. And what was it? Mind Shatter? What does Mind Shatter do? Oh, it's the same thing, but they tacked on another black to make it fair, so that it can be legal in Legacy for anyone who wants to play with that card. Gotcha. Mikey J with Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Misfortune, Wheel of Fortune. And, yeah, red 2 generic. Each player discards his or her hand, draws 7 card. Wheel of Misfortune. Oh, everyone can pull out these cards. Hold on, but this is a weird. Yeah, each player secretly chooses a number between 0 or greater. You know what? This is strictly worse because this is just a headache to read and internalize. Then all players reveal those numbers simultaneously and determine the highest and lowest numbers revealed this way. Wheel of Misfortune deals damage equal to the highest number to each player who didn't choose a number. Oh, you know, then each player who didn't choose the lowest number discards their hand, then draws 7 cards. That is a strictly worse design as well. God, that is terrible. This is a pretty bad comparison, but it'll pass. Ancestral Recall. So for 1 blue, we used to be able to draw 3 cards, and then now Divination. Now we draw. You know what would be a funny one? 3 mana for 1 card. They flipped it around. Instead of 1 mana for 3 cards, 3 mana for 1 card. But this is now 3 mana for 2 cards. Oh, do you know what? I like this one. So I already did the Mana Leak Quench one at the beginning. But you know what? They made Miscalculation. Miscalculation also saw play. Counter target spell, unless its caster pays 2. But it adds cycling. So when it's useless in the late game, you can just cycle it for a new card. So hey, it's good in the early game. It's not useless in the late game. And then we could compare that one to Quench, which is counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. But then that's the end of it. No more. That's all you get. Late in the game, it's useless. Strictly garbage. Lion's Eye Diamond, Diamond Line, no, I'm not, that's not gonna pass. Those are just, I mean, it's a strictly worse ability. Okay, we'll do it. Lion's Eye Diamond. Just based on playability's sake, these don't see play even remotely close. Okay, so do you know what? Yeah, we can have it. It'll work. It works. I take it back. Okay, for 0 mana, sacrifice Lion's Eye Diamond, discard your hand, add 3 mana to your mana pool. But then there was Diamond Lion, which is just terrible in comparison. So you got the same ability: tap, discard your hand, sacrifice Diamond Lion, add 3 mana of any one color, activate only as an instant. But here's the problem. It's attached to a creature, which can die. So you just play your Diamond Lion, and then it's gonna get killed off. But also, you add 3 yeah, so it has Summoning Sickness. So like you have to wait a turn before you get to activate this thing, and it's vulnerable to getting killed. Wrath of God is Winds of Wrath. Wrath of God. The Winds of Wrath. Did I get that right? Winds of Wrath. Okay, Wrath of God. White, 2 generic. Destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. The Winds of Wrath. Oh. Did I get that one right? Winds of... Oh, it's just R-A. Winds of Wrath. There we go. Destroy all creatures that aren't enchanted. They can't be regenerated. That is a weird one. Now, yeah. Well, so I guess this is for your Bogles deck or something. Some sort of deck with a lot of auras. Anyway, there's a little bit of upside, but generally speaking, this is just going to hit less stuff. Oh, do you know what? Actually, it's worse in 2 ways. Okay, so it costs 1 more mana, and it's not even going to kill everything on the battlefield. It's not going to do that. Okay, all right, thank you so much, Balder. Nikachu is accidentally put the less than any other streamer. Death Grasp is greater than Debt to the Deathless. And is it, oops, greater. But hey, all the other streamers are great too. The streamers are amazing. But I'm happy that I'm your favorite. And we've got Waz back. Gaia's Cradle is greater than Circle of Dreams Druid. Gaia's Cradle. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have Gaia's Cradle. Add a green to your mana pool for each creature you control. It's getting up there in price. I mean, it's a very expensive land because it's so damn good. It's the Tolarian Academy of Green. Yet somehow Tolarian Academy is banned. This one's not. Circle of Dreams Druid. Green, 2/1 for a creature. Add a green for each creature you control. It's not the same. It's just not the same when it's not a land. It's strictly worse. At this point of the show, I am certain there's a bunch of people cringing in the comments section, complaining like, oh my god, these aren't even comparable. You're comparing lands to creatures. We know how loose it is on this show. You know, I don't mind it being a little loose. It can be a little loose. Ooh, I like this one that Tommy just mentioned. Maze of Ith is less than Labyrinth of Scophos. Did Maze of Ith which one came out first? Labyrinth of Scophos. I've never heard of this card. So this was the strictly worse. Okay, so then we have Maze of Ith. Got your things screwed up here, Tommy. The smaller side of the lesser, the smaller side of the lesser, greater or lesser symbol needs to be reversed. Maze of Ith, tap, untap target attacking creature, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by that creature this turn. And then we got the Labyrinth of Scophos, remove target attacking or blocking creature from combat. But it's going to cost you 4. Good God, this is so much worse. Look how good we had it back then. We had it good back then. The ability didn't cost so much. Okay, we got Wojtek, Gaia's Cradle, Growing Rights of... What is this Growing Rights thing? Growing Rights of... Writhes. Sorry, Writhes of it something. Oh, maybe it is Growing Rights. Aha, yes. Okay, so and Gaia's Cradle. So you have to work for your Gaia's Cradle. So Gaia's Cradle into the growing rights of Itlimok. Surprised people aren't pulling out the Maguses. Actually, you know what? I'm going to disqualify the Maguses because they can at least attack. They're not too bad. Greed into generic growing rights of Itlimok enters the battlefield. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put them into your hand to put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 or more creatures, transform. Oh, become anew into Itlimok, Cradle of the Sun. Tap out a green to your mana pool, or you can tap out a green to your mana pool for each creature you control. But it's so much harder to work for this Guy's Cradle. This Guy's Cradle is hard to work for. Dark Ritual is greater or equal to... Yeah, so I Dream Akuma is asking everyone, what's Dark Ritual better than? Dark Ritual is better than Seething Song? Come on, they're not even in the same color. Not even the same family. Pimp sauce with the super chat. Library of Alexandria. Greater than the Bibliopex. The Biblioplex. So, add 1 mana to your mana pool, draw a card, activate this ability only if you have exactly 7 cards in hand. And then they tried to make a fair Library of Alexandria. One that wasn't going to get banned in Commander. Honestly, I don't think Library of Alexandria deserves to get banned in Commander. I think that's nonsense. That's a bit weird. A bit of a weird take. Tap, add a generic. Pay 2, tap, look at the top card of your library. If it's an instant or sorcery card, you can reveal it, put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into the graveyard. Activate only if you have exactly 0 or 7 cards in hand. Now, one advantage is you can play it at 0, so that one's nice. Okay, Faster Than You says Torment of Hailfire is greater than Remorseless Punishment. Torment of Hailfire, black X, sorcery. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. We got Remorseless Punishment. Yeah, I think this came out afterwards. Black, 3 generic. Target opponent loses 5 life unless that player discards 2 cards or sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Repeat this process. Unless that player discards 2 cards or okay, so in the end, this thing can't scale. So even for 5 mana here, your opponent is going to lose 3 life. Unless that player sacrifices, repeat the process X times, 3 life, unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So in here, they could discard 2 cards, and then they don't get any damage, or sacrifices, or they only have to sack 1 creature. What about this one? Do you have to sack any creatures, or sacrifice a non-land permanent? This one's specifically creatures. It's a bit weird of a card, but yeah, I agree. This one's worse than the Torment of Hailfire. Boulder's back. Thanks so much, Boulder. Death Grasp. Boulder loves being part of the show. And loves Orzhov cards. So debt to the debtless. So Death Grasp. Black, X, sorcery. Deals X damage to target creature or player. You gain X life. Came from Commander 2015. And then we got Debt to the Debtless. Actually, I don't know when... This probably came out really close at the same time. Each opponent loses 2 times X life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Way more expensive to pull off. You get double the effect, though. Evan says Searing Blaze and Camel's Sledge. Searing Blaze. Searing Blaze, red. Instant. Deal 1 damage to target player, and then 1 damage to target creature that player controls. But if you have landfall, you deal 3 damage instead. Kamal's Sledge. Oh, yeah. Red, 5 generic. So 7 mana deals 4 damage to target creature. But the threshold... Well, this is just a completely... If it was landfall, I'd agree, but this is a completely different card. It's not even close. Okay, we've got Search for his Cantic greater than Phyrexian Arena. That's not even close. Sorry, Balder. Appreciate the super chats. And we got... Someone just wanted to give me a tip. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate it. 7-Up, also a very good drink. Anyone who loves 7-Up out there? Although I have to say, Coca-Cola is my favorite. I'm a Coca-Cola family. I can't remember. I think Coca-Cola owns 7-Up. Actually, I shouldn't make any assumptions. I don't know who owns 7-Up. Someone owns a lot of the soft drinks all at once. We've got Foul Watcher greater than Stormcrow. Foul Watcher. Ooh, it gets disqualified because this one's the newer card. This is a strictly better card, not strictly worse. Stormcrow is an old card. And Foul Watcher is a newer card. It's got to go the other way around. But thanks for the suggestion. Treasure Cruise greater than Dig Through Time? Not even comparable. Man, this is hard. You could have compared Ancestral Recall to Treasure Cruise. That was perfectly fine. I think we could go that route. Ancestral Recall. One blue, draw 3 cards. And then we've got Dig Through Time. Sorry, not Dig Through Time. No! I screwed this up. Treasure Cruise. That's strictly worse. Yeah, you have to pay an additional 7 mana. Or exile cards out of your graveyard and make this thing work. Thoughtseize Inquisition of Kozilek. I think the life loss matters too much. Man, this is hard. Ledger Shredder came out after Stormcrow. Man, you guys getting the buzzer a lot today. Over Magic. This is strictly worse cards printed over Magic the Gathering history. So the better card had to come first. The worst card had to come second. All right, let's hope Pimp Sauce is on a roll here. Last Gasp, and Tar Snare. The hell is Tar Snare? This came from Ravnica. All right, so this is gonna qualify. So Last Grasp, black, 1 generic. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. And then they made Tar Snare. Hold on, is this an instant? They're both instants. But so for 1 extra mana, target creature gets -3/-2 until end of turn. Wow, they just made it strictly worse on 2 fronts. You get less of an effect, and it costs more mana. And it's a strictly worse card. See, Pimp Sauce knows how this works. Okay, John Wright. Dark Ritual into Cull of the Week. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not a fan of, what's it called? These Warhammer pictures being the default for Dark Ritual. Here, there's a Dark Ritual. Black. Add 3 black mana to your mana pool. Cull of the Week. Oops. Wrong week. Oh, is it Cult of the Week? No. Oh, sorry. Cull of the Week. Cull of the Week. You know what? You're not the problem. I'm the problem. Sacrifice a creature. Add a black to your mana pool. These are not even close to the same card. I thought it was going to be a ritual or something. This is an oh, so no, it says a mana source. What do you guys think? Is this a strictly worse card? It's you add more mana. Now the cost is really high. You have to sack a creature. I thought it was an enchantment for a second. It's not an enchantment. This is literally, it's like, what is this by today's standards? It's an instant. Back then it was a mana source. It's a mana source. It's close though. I don't know. It adds a little bit more mana. But you know what? You do have to sack the creature. I guess we'll let it go. Marcelo, thanks so much for the super chat. Did you have something to say with that, Marcelo? Look very briefly and closely at chat for Marcelo's suggestion. Cannot find it. Gotta leave your comment with the super chat. Okay, Mohammed, selfless spirit and selfless spirit into selfless glyph, whatever. We'll figure it out when we get there. I love selfless spirit. 1 white, 1 generic, 2/1 flyer. Sacrifice it. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Then we got selfless glyph weaver. 1 white, 2 generic. Exile it. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Wow. Oh, but it's a double-sided card. You at least get a... Oh, no, you get... I thought it was going to be a land. I was like, why haven't I heard about this card before? Deadly Vanity. Choose a creature or planeswalker and destroy other creatures. Well, you get that attached to it, but... Yeah, this particular creature is strictly worse. I think 3 mana for a 2/3 human cleric is not as good as 2 mana for a 2/1. I will allow it. Strip mine. Oh no, we talked about that at the beginning, David. Yeah, we went through strip mine and wasteland. Time walk, temporal mastery. I love it, the random Joe. Time walk. So obviously they found out that this is completely broken. Temporal mastery. Frankly, you could just name any card that gives you an extra turn, including time walk. Temporal mastery is a lot harder to pull off. So you can only use this card at your draw step. This is actually a really good comparison. This is a fantastic comparison. So you'll get the same effect only if you pay for it at your draw step, if you draw it for the turn. Otherwise, you're paying an entire 7 mana. This is one of the better comparisons, though. What a banger. The Super Noob! Thank you so much for the super chat. Seedborn Muse Wilderness Reclamation. Seedborn Muse. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step. But Wilderness Reclamation, I think, is only the lands. And it's an enchantment. It's only the land. Oh, yeah, but... Okay, I see. So you could, in this way, look, hey, I got a creature. And I get to untap all permanents. And here, I have an enchantment. Doesn't attack. And I only untap the lands. All right, I can get behind that one. I can get behind that one. Sacrifice, culling. Okay, so hold on. We got sacrifice. Which is sacrifice. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. Add an amount of mana equal to the sacrifice creature's mana value. And then you wanted to compare that to culling the weak. But this could end up being... I don't know if this one's better. This is only better if you sack a creature that's really big. This one you can sack a garbage creatures and get a lot of mana. I don't like that comparison. Culling the weak I think is better in this case because you can sack a token. Michael says, fun fact, Dark Ritual has been 3 different card types: Interrupt, Instant, and Mana Source. The more you know, people. The more you know. Shock is worse than play. Yeah, but Shock came out first. God, you people can't read instructions. Now, you know someone who does read instructions? Pimp Sauce. Thank you so much for the super chat. Armadillo Cloak is better than Unflinching Courage. Armadillo Cloak. You know what's funny? Actually, I think we had this on the Strictly Better show, but you know what? A lot of people in the comments section were... They said, hey, Armadillo Cloak is actually better than Unflinching Courage because the fact that it's not lifelink is a big deal. So here you get +2/+2 tramp on lifelink, but Armadillo Cloak, it's when you deal damage you gain that much life. Well, I mean, they've got some benefit. It depends, I guess. If you have lifelink and Armadillo Cloak, you'll gain double the life. However, if your opponent somehow attacking you for a lot of damage and you block something with Armadillo Cloak, you'll die. You would want that simultaneous life gain from Unflinching Courage, but I guess it depending on the situation, one is better than the other. All right, what else we got? We got more super chats coming in from Chris Maddox. Thank you so much. Sorry I'm late. Cancel greater than counterspell. We did that one. Counterspell. Do it again for you though, Chris Maddox. Counterspell, cancel. With the, I'm telling you, people, it looks like Archmage's Charm. Archmage's Charm. The cancel art. Don't they look the same? Is it the same artist? No, it's not the same artist. I swear, you point cancel at me. You point cancel at my, like, I don't know, my ether vial, saying you're gonna steal it. I won't blink. It's yours. Steven, thanks so much for the super chat. Gotta go, sadly. Thanks for the show, Nikachu. You're welcome, Steven. Enjoy your day. I'm sure you'll be back another day. Josh Karen, thanks so much for the super chat. Naturalize a nature's chant. Naturalize. Well, this one's great. And then what? Nature's chant. So we have naturalize. Green 1 generic. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's the same thing. Which one came out first, though? I think this is a strictly better card. But thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. This has to be strictly better, right? Because it's just, you can add this with white or green mana. You get 2 options. Mohammed, thanks. So, with the bazillion 10,000 currency, I have no idea what this is. I'll have to convert it later after the show. But thank you very much, Mohammed. Okay, so we got Kagam with Dig Through Time is greater than Memory Deluge. Dig Through Time. You know what, honestly, I don't know if I like this comparison all that much. They're very different cards. So, like, this card, for example, it could be 2 mana or it could be 6 mana, but usually it's going to be very, very cheap, and you go very deep into the deck. This one is, you have to spend 4 mana. You'll never have to pay 2 mana with this thing, and it has flashback. I think these are very, very different cards. But you could compare this, I think, to Factor Fiction. Look at the top X cards of your library. I mean, maybe Factor Fiction is a bit different. I mean, you have to let me know in the comments section. What do you think? Do you think Dig Through Time... Memory Deluge is a strictly worse Dig Through Time? I'm gonna leave it to chat. We got Balder. Balder's back. Return to Nature is greater than Nature's Chant. But but I think Nature's Chant comes out first. Return to Nature. What's the problem? Oh, Return to Nature. Oh, this one. Return to Nature. Nature's Chant. Alright, so Return to Nature. I'll accept this one. That's a good one. Destroy target artifact or enchantment or exile a card from a graveyard. And then we go into Nature's Chant. Only destroy the artifact or enchantment. I accept that one. That's a good one. Harold, thanks so much for the super chat. Inferno greater than Fiery Tempest. Inferno. Sorry, Fire Tempest. Fire Tempest. Okay, what's Inferno? 7 mana. Deal 6 damage to each creature and each player. From 8th edition. Then we've got... Oh, this came from... Okay, hold on. Which one came first? Oh, this one came... So actually, the original Inferno comes from the Dark. And then we have Fire Tempest. Alright, so this one did come out later. Deal 6 damage to each creature and each player. What's the difference? Deal 6 damage to all players and all creatures. To each... Isn't this the same card? It looks like... They look the same! 6 damage to each creature and each player. This is a strictly same card. I don't think this one counts. But anyway, that's an interesting one. Or what's the difference? Is the casting cost? No. Oh! It's like, where's Waldo? Oh, so Fire Tempest is sorcery. So Inferno was an instant. Interesting, interesting. They did make it yeah, okay, so... Qualifies. I couldn't see it. I had to go back and forth on that one. Is anyone listening, anyone who just strictly listens to the show doesn't watch, they probably got just as confused as I did as I read the card, and it didn't sound like there was anything different between the two. We got another super chat. Thanks so much, Super Noob. Growing ranks. What does that mean? Growing ranks. Song of World Soul. Song of World Soul. So what does growing ranks do? Hybrid, Selesnya, 2 generic, enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, populate. Well, for those token players out there. Soul of the World Soul. Song of the World Soul. White, 4 generic. Whenever you cast a spell, populate. It's not even it's not even at the beginning of your upkeep, populate. These are not even close to the same card. But thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. A lot of people like super chatting cards that do not, they don't work. I don't mind though. Vampiric Link is greater than Imperial Seal. What? Vampiric Link? It's not even close. People are just trolling me now. Oh, the trolls are out today. Okay, M. Petri has been trying so hard to Orum's chant is greater than silence. Orum's chant, 1 white. Target player can't play spells this turn. With a kicker, if you pay the kicker cost, creatures can't attack this turn, and we've got silence. Which is, I think, the same thing. Damn, there's a lot of cards called silence. Okay, 1 white. Your opponents can't cast spells this turn. That is absolutely strictly worse. It's a strictly worse card. Great suggestion. MTG Raz, welcome. Lightning Greaves. Oh, Swiftfoot Boots. I think that might be debated. I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to be part of this debate. I have no horse in this race here. So Lightning Greaves is 2 mana. For equipped creature has haste and shroud. You can equip for nothing. And then we got Swiftfoot Boots. Swiftfoot Boots. Actually, I don't know which one came out first, though. We have 2 mana for a very similar thing. Equipped creature has hexproof and haste. Equipped for 1. This one is just... Oops. This one's just haste and shroud. Oh, no, it's the same thing. Well, I mean, it's close. It's close enough. I would agree Swiftfoot Boots is worse. But when you have shroud, you can't equip it with anything. At least hexproof, you can put more stuff on it. Like equipment. Like equipment. Wait, didn't Peak come out before Gitaxian Probe? Yes, but Peak is an instant. Peak definitely came out first. Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, those aren't comparable. If Path to Exile gained life, I think it'd be comparable. Hexproof is greater than Shroud. But Hexproof came out afterwards. That could be a show. Strictly worse or strictly better mechanics over Magic the Gathering history. Did we do Lightning Bolt and Shock? Yep, that's one of the basics. Oh, I like this one. Brain Geyser. Looking at this card sucks. Brain Geyser. This is just a strictly worse card draw spell. We got Mind Spring. So Brain Geyser's blue X. Target player draws X cards. I think it's on the reserve list too. Mind Spring. Draw X card. Hold on, is this exactly the same? Sorcery. They reprinted a reserve list card. Like, identical. Like, there's no difference, is there? And what's funny is this card is worth, like... This card's worth, you know, like $42. And this one's worth nothing. It's worth absolutely nothing. This is the same card. Blue X. Sorcery, draw X cards. Blue X, target... Oh, sorry. Is this you just draw... No, you just draw X cards. You can give someone else the cards. Yeah, this one's target. You guys got it right. But I noticed at the last second before you guys stepped in. All right, I'm big brain. I'm smart. That is... Okay, so... It is strictly worse. Excellent. Awesome. That one qualifies. This one... Oh, it can target anyone. You can target your buddies. It's very important. Who doesn't want to have extra cards? Josh, thank you so much for the super chat. Sorry for the first one, half paying attention. How about Animate Dead and Unearth? Animate Dead and Unearth. They're not even the same mana cost. Nah, that one don't work either. Sorry about that, Josh. But thanks very much for the super chat anyway. You can kill someone with a brain geyser. That's true. You can kill someone. Yellow chair. Forgotten cave greater than desert of the fervent. Forgotten cave. I don't even know what this card does. Oh, just add a red mana and it cycles. And this is a desert. Enters the battlefield tapped. Add a red mana cycling for 2 mana. Enters the battlefield tapped. Yeah, I mean, under some circumstances, you might want deserts in your deck because deserts have ability with other deserts. But this, without considering the desert part, this is a strictly worse card. Strictly worse. The Forgotten Cave. Just cycle it for one red. Here, you have to cycle it for red and 1 generic. Get it out of here. Entomb, greater than... Oh, there we go. That's a good one. Entomb. Faster than you. Fast on that one. Entomb is better. Way better. This one came out. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your graveyard, then shuffle your library, and then unmarked grave. Cost not only more mana, but you search your library for a non-legendary. It has to be non-legendary. Put that card in your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Back in the day, I could put anything into my graveyard. There were no restrictions. Back in my day. Michael says, I once used misdirection to target me when my opponent tried drawing 15 cards with brain guys. Whoa! Whoa! What a play. Spent 2 mana Sorry, you spent 2 cards to get a 15 more. I love that story. Spark Double is greater than Sakashima. But which one came out first? Spark Double is a pretty modern card. Sakashima. Oh, which one? The student or Sakami? Oh man, you're not specific here. I don't know. This one is like a clone. Oh, so I'm gonna assume it's gonna be this clone-y looking one. There we go. This one came out in 2012. So they're not they're not the same. Spark Double came out later. Okay, let's just read it. Blue 3 generic. Enters the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters the battlefield with an additional counter on it. If it's a creature, it enters the battlefield. Enters with an additional loyalty counter if it's a planeswalker. And this other one is you may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it's a ninja in addition to its other costs. I don't know which one came out first though. I think this one came out first. Anyway, I don't want to... This one's hurting my head. We're going to move on. Control magic, worse than mind control. Mind control. Oh, you mean... Oh, sorry, you meant control magic came out first. That's a great one. Yeah. Yeah. Control magic. When was the first printing of control magic? It's been out... It's an oldie. This is an oldie card. Oh, it's been around since beta. It's one of the first ones. All right, so control magic, you just take your... Well, look how much words... Man, the Oracle text has changed. Now we've got enchant creature, you control an enchanted creature, but back in the day... Oops. Back in the day, it was like, you control target creature until enchantment is discarded or game ends. You can't tap target creature this turn, but if it was already tapped, it stays tapped until you can untap it. If destroyed target creature is put in its owner's graveyard. Gives me an idea. We could do a show about the biggest changes between Oracle text and like the original card. Control magic from beta. Oh, that's... And then now we've got control magic. Sorry, we have mind control. These days, it's a lot easier to read. And for an extra mana, it's strictly worse. That's a great suggestion. Thanks so much. Super Noob, again with the super chats. Thanks so much. Mana Flare. And Zendikar Resurgent. They're not even the same card. They're two different colors. Taps a land for mana. That player adds 1 mana of that type to his or her mana pool. Whenever you tap... Okay, okay, I'll go through them because apparently they have the same ability, but, I mean, they're not even in the same color pie. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, that player adds 1 mana of that type to his or her mana pool. And then we got Zendikar Resurgent for 7 mana. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana to your mana pool of that any type that land produced. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. But at least you, whenever you cast creature spells, you get to draw cards. Probably go infinite there. It's a very loose comparison. That's incredibly loose. We have Shu Somi, Bone Shards, Bone Splitters. And then we have the Bone Splitters. But which one came out first? Oh, hold on, Bone Splinter. Yeah, this is a new one. Okay, so Bone Shards, an additional cost to cast the spell, sack a creature or discard a card, destroy target creature or planeswalker. And then we have as additional cost to cast the spell, sack a creature, destroy target creature. You could also discard a card. So this is strictly worse. It's funny that they would print this when we already have this. So I guess they might want to put this in Pioneer or something. But this is definitely worse. It is strictly worse. We can discard a card as an alternate casting cost instead of sacking a creature, and we get to destroy more things, creatures and planeswalkers. Here you only destroy a creature. Is this an instant? No, they're both sorceries. Oh, this is a great one. Bone Splitters, strictly worse. Oh, actually, this is an old card though. Oh no, this is an old card. Bone Splitters is older though. It is old. Bone Shards is new. All right, disqualified. We have to base it on which one came out first. Bone Splitters came out first. I was like, this is a bit weird. I swear we had this on the Strictly Better show. Okay, Eaten Alive is better than Bone Shards. Eaten Alive? What's Eaten Alive? Black, as initial cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature or pay black 3 generic, exile target creature or planeswalker. It's not clear to me that this card is actually better. Or, like, this card is better and then this one got worse. Because, again, this one came out... Oh, no. Oh, so, sorry. Bone Shards did come out first. Then Eaten Alive came out. That actually does work. Yeah. So, okay. So, we've had... Oh, no. This is Modern Horizons 2. Hold on. That's close. Which one came out first? No, I think Modern Horizons 2 came out first. And then this one came out. We had... It was very, very close. The release date were very... it was within the last year anyway. Anyhow, I think, yes, I think so. All right, we have one more. We got Josh with the super chat. Thanks so much. Primordial Hydra is better than Lifeblood Hydra. Primordial Hydra came out in Magic 2012. Lifeblood Hydra. I don't know the difference between these Hydras. What do we got here? Green X for Primordial Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of counters. It has trample as long as it has 10 or more counters on it. And then the apparently strictly worse version is Green X. For trample, when it enters the battlefield, with X +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever it dies, you gain life and draw cards equal to its power. It's not even the same card, honestly. These are just two completely different effects. Not even close. But anyway, thank you very much for making the show that it is. Thank you for showing up today. And if you guys want to be part of the show, all of you people on replay, want to get your suggestions in, hey, we do Coffee and MTG Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thank you very much for everyone who supports the channel with memberships and with the super chats. It keeps the show running, lets me know you love it. We got to keep doing this every single weekday. But very much thank you, all of you, for showing up in the morning, because without you, I have no show. I greatly depend on all of you to make all of this work. You're so much more the show than I am. So, as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next